Hi, everyone, and welcome to NXT or TWF NXT. Mike Today, Jim Ross. Mike Today, Jim Ross, and Booker T here. And today on NXT, we are going to hear from CM Punk, who is most likely going to have another match with Drew McIntyre. Which set the scene here? We do know Mike Today says that Drew McIntyre beat up CM Punk not too long ago on NXT, and we haven't seen him since then. And those two truly don't like each other. No, they do not like each other at all, Jim Ross says. Drew McIntyre and CM Punk have went to war since CM Punk came back to W for his two-diff run towards the end of 2023 YL. And at the end of the day, neither man have really on with any one of them. And we do know CM Punk, he's going to want to get his hands on Drew McIntyre. Well, I can tell you one thing right now, Mike and Jim. CM Punk might want to get his hands on Drew McIntyre, but I don't know where Drew McIntyre is at, or if he is ever going to get even with CM Punk, or CM Punk's going to get even with him, Booker T says. Well, here comes CM Punk coming to the ring now. Alright, everyone. I think this whole thing between me and Drew McIntyre is going to come to an end. You know, both in WWE and in the TWF, it's going to come to an end. But sadly, I can't do no Hell in a Cell match or Steel Cell match or Forget Rue match or anything like that because we don't got the play set. But I do know Drew McIntyre would like to get his hands on me, and I like to get my hands on him. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to get back at him. We can have any kind of match that he likes, but I'm thinking about throwing him in the clutter because that's the way he treated me. But let me tell you, when I came back to WWE, my two-diff run in 2023 YL, I didn't want to make any friends, but I didn't want to make any foes either. And he started out shit with me. So then he beat me, and then I beat him, and it is what it is, sadly. And the way I look at it is that, Drew McIntyre, you brought this on yourself. I didn't want to have any bind with you whatsoever. But sadly, a man like you always got to bring up the past. Yeah, I said and did some really shitty things in the past. Yes, I did. Things that I can't take back. Some things that I'm ashamed of. Yeah. Who hasn't made mistakes? And I made a whole bunch of mistakes. You know what, Drew McIntyre? You're as bad as another man that I didn't want to have a bind with, but sadly he just couldn't help himself. A wannabe cowboy by the name of Adam Page, who fucked with me through my whole run in AEW, 2021 YL to 2023 YL. And at the end of the day, made it where my run there didn't go very well. So, when he came to the TWF, I got even on him in his first match. And I don't want to deal with him anymore. Just like Drew McIntyre, I don't want to deal with you anymore. So, we're going to have our match, Drew McIntyre. And at the end of the day, you are not going to like it. And either you bring me down or I bring you down it doesn't really care, because that's what's going to happen. Either you're going to have to kill me, or I'm going to, because I oath that I'm going to bring you down. And this is what I think. Hey, that's Maxwell Jacob Friedman. We haven't seen him in some time here in the Toy Wrestling Gathering. CM Punk, I haven't seen you, in some time. And I just want to say, you let yourself go, didn't you? I mean, I can't even keep this on right. I mean, I can't even keep this on right, which is sad. But you know how it was. I mean, you let yourself go, CM Punk. I mean, you did. I mean, your time in AEW was not as cool as one would think it was. It was alright. But now, you don't have to deal with, you don't got to worry about Drew McIntyre. You don't got to worry about Adam Page, which we don't know where Adam Page has been. You get to deal with me. Why would I want to deal with a shithead like you, Maxwell Jacob Friedman? A man who I never really had any bind with when I was in AEW. You think you think you're like the Miz. Fine, whatever. The Miz has done a lot more things than you have, But why do you want to start something with me? Why? Because you didn't get over in your time in ZZW and MLW and AEW? What? Because your time in your time in TWF didn't go well? What the fuck? You're at least a 2-time TWF heavyweight fighter. You're a 1-time AEW heavyweight fighter. So, what do you want to do? That's what I want to do, CM Punk. I want to go to the top again. I want to be a 3-time TWF heavyweight fighter. I want to be one of the most feared men in AEW. And I want to be one of the feared men in TWF too. You want to know why Shao Kahn and Anthony Kong and Christopher Daniels and Jeff Jarrett and Kenny Omega and Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson and QG Marshall and Sensei Dutt fall over themselves to keep me? And why Ariel Waddell and Patrick Whitesell and Mark Shapiro and Nick Kong and Hunter Helmsley and Shawn Michaels and Road Dogg and Steven Regal and Michael P.X. Hayes and Bretto Love and Adam Pearce, they do everything they can do to get me to WWE, because they know I'm a big wrestler, they know I'm a top wrestler, and I know I'll beat you. And I had enough of your shit. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. You want to start something with me? I'm not in the mood to be fucked with. Not by some Miz wannabe. Alright, CM Punk. I can see that you are pissed off. And I can see that Maxwell Jacob Friedman is off to being a creep once again. But don't worry about that one, Astronomer says. I'll give it to you. How about we have CM Punk fight Maxwell Jacob Friedman here today on NXT? How does that tone? How is that like? I'll take it, CM Punk says. And then I'll incite MJF as Drew McIntyre and beat the shit out of him. Oh no, you're not going to do that, Ecliptor says. You have your match with Drew McIntyre soon, And you can't incite MJ Maxwell Jacob Friedman as, you know, as Drew McIntyre, Ecliptor says. Well, we heard from Astronema and Ecliptor, and now we got the match. Shit. And now we got the match between CM Punk and Maxwell Jacob Friedman here. Ding. Well, I think that was, first off, Mike today said Maxwell Jacob Friedman always likes to get in folks' business all the time. He always wants to make everything about him, and we haven't seen him in months, and when we did, he starts shit with CM Punk, Mike today says, and a saga of clothes rows. Yeah, CM Punk, love him or hate him, onlook him or not, Jim Ross says. But some folks out there think that CM Punk time in AEW didn't go very well. And some could guilt it on Adam Page if they wanted to. Just like some could guilt his time in WWE not going well due to Drew McIntyre, Jim Ross says. I tell you what, Booker T says, you know, CM Punk can't get into his head, can't see MJF or Maxwell Jacob Friedman as Drew McIntyre. If he does, then he's not going to be skilled. He cannot be skilled to wrestle any man or any woman in the ring if he thinks that way. Booker T says, and I don't know why MJF made it all about CM Punk and came out here. But I don't think it was right for CM Punk to do what he did to MJF. Oh! And right now, CM Punk is hoping to do the go to sleep to MJF, Mike today says. Well, his other hold at one time, Jim Ross said, was the go to sleep, but he hasn't done that hold in years. He hasn't done that hold in years. Here it comes. 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding. Here is your winner, CM Punk. Well, CM Punk has beat Maxwell Jacob Friedman here today on NXT. And we all want to know one thing, Mike today says. Did Maxwell Jacob Friedman do it on his own free will, his own slay, or did Drew McIntyre ask someone to help him out against, you know, CM Punk? Well, shit. Well, first off, Jim Ross says, if Drew McIntyre wanted someone to help him against CM Punk, wouldn't he have gone to a man or someone else who didn't like CM Punk as much, as hated CM Punk as much as he did? Wouldn't Drew McIntyre ask Adam Page to help him, since Adam Page hated CM Punk the same way that Drew McIntyre hated him? I mean, I don't think at the end of the day, I don't think he would have asked, he would ask Maxwell Jacob Friedman to help him. Well, anyway, at the end of the day, Booker T says, I think Maxwell Jacob Friedman just thought that if he started something with CM Punk, he thought that maybe that would help him get over. That would help him become a big-time TWF wrestler or fighter or overstar or whatever you want to call. That's why I think he did it. I don't think it had anything to do with Drew, Drew McIntyre. All right. Take it away now with Tony Schiavone. Thank you, Mike and Jim. I'm going to be talking right now. Thank you, Mike, today, and Jim Ross. I'm going to be talking with Maxwell Jacob Friedman here today on NXT. We know Maxwell Jacob Friedman, me and you are no strangers to each other, newcomers to each other. Why did you do it to CM Punk? Because I don't like CM Punk. And when you want to make yourself a big wrestler or fighter or overstar, you gotta do what you gotta do. And I know CM Punk and Adam Page didn't get along in AEW. I know that CM Punk and Drew McIntyre don't get along in WWE. I understand that, I get that. But when you want to make yourself a big time, when you want to be the top dog, when you want to do all the things that you want to do, you got to go after someone who is big enough that if you take them out, you will then take their stead, and then you will be seen as the top one. So you went after CM Punk, not since you hated him, but only because you think by taking CM Punk out, it would help you. That's right, Tony. It would help me become the biggest, greatest, skilled wrestler, overstar, fighter, whatever you want to call it. And then, if I take out CM Punk, then everyone else would start to worry about them being on the list. And then sooner or later, I would become a three-time TWF heavyweight fighter. And then the whole world will be worried. The whole world either onlook or love or fear Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Well, Maxwell Jacob Friedman said he only struck CM Punk because he wanted to make a big name for himself. Back to you, Mike Today and Jim Ross. Thank you, Tony Schiavone, for talking with Maxwell Jacob Friedman here today on NXT. And that's all the time we got here for NXT. I, Mike Today, Jim Ross, Jim Ross, and Booker T. We hope you like NXT, and we'll see you tomorrow for Dynamite or Mike.